Katt Williams has a pattern of dropping bombs before the rest of the world even realizes there's a fuse burning. Way before any official paperwork saw the light of day, he was already hinting that powerful celebrities were hiding in plain sight. He wasn't whispering either. He was bold about it. Now that the Epstein files are finally public, people are looking back at what he said and realizing he might not have been joking at all. When he showed up on Club Shay Shay, it wasn't just comedy. Beneath the laughs, he was opening doors to conversations Hollywood would rather keep locked. He suggested that the web of connections went far beyond politics and reached deep into the entertainment world. Back then, critics brushed him off. Some said he was bitter. Others claimed he just wanted attention. But once the Epstein documents started circulating, with court records and flight logs filled with recognizable names, the mood shifted. Fans rushed to defend their favorite stars. For many, it was hard to accept that celebrities they admired could be tied to serious allegations. One name that caused an explosion of reactions was Jay-Z. Supporters immediately went into defense mode.
Take people like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living our people, so how the f they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best fit for somebody else? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth about anything, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Man. Liars are now the face of our culture.
An anonymous accuser mentioned Jay-Z in the paperwork, and that alone sent social media into chaos. His defenders argued that the timeline didn't make sense, pointing out that in the mid-1990s, he was only beginning his journey and wasn't yet part of elite circles. But starting a career and building connections are two different things. Even early on, Jay-Z appeared comfortable around powerful industry figures. Old clips resurfaced showing him alongside Harvey Weinstein, and some viewers said the dynamic felt tense, almost controlled. Moments people once ignored suddenly looked different under a brighter spotlight.
Your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration?
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Then can I ask about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is...
Then came the photos and party footage. Images of Jay-Z at high-profile gatherings with controversial figures began circulating again. Years ago, when Kanye spoke out, many dismissed him. Now, those old statements are being replayed with new attention. And it wasn't just Jay-Z facing questions. Naomi Campbell's name showed up in flight logs connected to Epstein's private jet in the early 2000s. She has publicly denied knowing about any crimes and has expressed support for victims. Still, resurfaced emails and videos online sparked speculation about how much she truly knew and whether young models were ever introduced to certain circles under the promise of career opportunities.
I'm still shocked that there's nothing about Naomi Campbell really coming forward yet. I'm surprised. I'm like bitterly surprised. Her time.
Yeah, they said her name was on the list like the most as far as like flight records.
Yeah.
She was on a lot of flights.
A lot of flights.
You mentioned
also Diddy's ex-girlfriend.
Hey.
Isn't that funny? What a small world.
There you go.
After the party is the hotel lobby.
After the
Come on, Jack. Come on. Hey.
You want to know what's funny though?
Yeah.
Naomi Campbell is finally being dressed.
Yeah. What? Y'all ain't heard? Y'all ain't
Cruella DeVille is finally being checked.
Wow. Hey, I've seen some shit. I've seen something on that.
Listen to me, any woman that Mike Tyson has to put a restraining order on
There's a problem.
needs to be checked.
That is facts. Them is facts. Oh, wait.
I keep telling everybody, she the Ghislaine.
Man.
I'm still trying to figure out how she pulled that off. Where she was able to get a white woman to go to jail for. I'm still
Bill Gates also found himself back in headlines. He once admitted that spending time with Epstein was a mistake and described their meetings as limited dinners. But the released documents suggest repeated contact that seemed deeper than casual encounters. Not long after those revelations gained attention, his marriage ended. Melinda Gates later shared how disturbed she felt about Epstein and how it affected her. Bill has since denied wrongdoing and apologized for the association, yet skepticism remains strong.
I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him. No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I, apologize that I did that. It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Chris Tucker's name appeared as well, linked to a flight aboard Epstein's jet in the early 2000s. Being listed doesn't automatically mean guilt, but the growing list of celebrities made one thing obvious. This circle was wide. Chris and his team quickly responded, saying his presence on the jet was tied to a humanitarian trip to Africa focused on charity work and AIDS awareness. They insisted there was nothing inappropriate about it.
Jeffrey Epstein, didn't he?
Yeah, I did. We flew Bill Clinton and a lot of different. That was a humanitarian trip to Africa, and I met him on that trip because it was his plane. I didn't know who plane we was getting on, but it was a whole bunch of dignitary people. We was with a delegation, and I met him, and you don't know people what they do in their private lives, so yeah.
But tell me this, Chris. You was on this private plane, and you could tell that it was a private plane because they called it, Lolita Express?
Oh, yeah, it was a private plane, yes. Oh, yes.
But wait a minute. You didn't never go to that island, did you?
No. I don't know where that thing at. No. I don't think
Plane was enough.
Hey,
They also noted that Bill Clinton and Kevin Spacey were on that same trip, presenting it as official and harmless. But instead of calming suspicions, that detail seemed to intensify them. Many people questioned why so many powerful names kept appearing together in the same spaces.
Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Ever talk to you about hey, I know Donald Trump, hey, I know Kevin Spacey, hey, I know Leonardo DiCaprio? Did he ever talk about these celebrities and these stories with them or anything like that?
No, he would tell me things like I knew when he flew Clinton to Africa, which is what first put him on the map. He told me he went to Africa. He took Spacey, Chris Tucker. He would mention people's names that he was with, but he wouldn't tell me much about them themselves. Mm-hmm. But he would tell me he was with so and so.
If I didn't know no better, I'd tell you he's the greatest. I don't care what you say. To be confident and not delusional is a real skill. Most of these confident people we see is really delusional.
Well, you don't think they asked Chris Tucker to come back in the second Friday?
Chris Tucker didn't want to be the poster child for smoking weed. He don't smoke weed like that.
Right.
He in the church. He Michael Jackson's best friend. Christmas. Michael Jackson called him Christmas. You ever met a man that gave you a little nickname like that?
No.
Me neither. Must be the greatest.
Man, I ain't gonna be able to get nobody back. I ain't gonna be able to get no more comedians.
They all coming.
No, they ain't.
Are you kidding?
Nah.
Hey, I promise you.
I done got all the rest of them. I done got the ones.
I promise you, everybody trying to double back. You're gonna be having to beat them off with a stick. You gonna let him? They're coming. Much as.
Mentioning Bill Clinton brought back widely shared photos of him inside Epstein's mansion. Critics pointed out how relaxed he looked, arguing that his comfort raised eyebrows. Chris Tucker was moving within similar circles during that period, yet he maintains he knew nothing. For many observers, that explanation feels hard to accept. Around the same time, singer Jaguar Wright re-entered the conversation. In a lengthy interview, she spoke about power dynamics in the music industry and explained that her concerns about Jay-Z were based on patterns she observed over time, not just one isolated event.
Adjacent to, or, traveling in the same circles as the person that's been selected to be this icon. Because let's just be very clear, he was selected, just like Diddy was selected. Question is, by who? Now, for many years, I minded my business about a lot of things, but a lot of things came to me. I heard a lot of things. You gotta remember, this was back when I was still trying to be amicable with the industry so that I can have my career, so that I can have my life, right? Everything that I worked for, everything that I sacrificed. Up until, 2016, 2017, I was still ignoring a lot of things. A lot of things. It wasn't until I couldn't ignore it anymore because I realized this ain't going nowhere. And then when I started seeing exactly how dangerous things have become, it was very simple. It's either you're going to speak up or they're going to keep getting away with it, or you're going to get handled up on regardless because you're not playing along the way you should be playing along. Like that's how this works. Like, the people that get rewarded are the people that keep the secrets, the people that are quiet, and the people that lie for them. The people who get a pass are the people who pretend that like they don't know what's going on. And then the people that speak up are the people that, get persecuted, get framed, get trashed, are forced to go broke, that kind of shit. So yeah, I cannot say that it was an overnight process. I was hoping. See, I was always so quick to just blame, all of the harm and just the terrible shit in the industry on Diddy. I wasn't really willing to accept the fact that they were working together.
Jaguar said she eventually reached a breaking point. In her view, the industry rewards silence rather than honesty. She claimed that those who keep secrets and play along are protected, while those who speak out risk being pushed aside or financially harmed. She admitted she once blamed Diddy alone for much of what she saw. Later, she realized the network of influence was far more connected than she initially believed. That shift made her skeptical of public claims suggesting certain powerful figures were never closely linked, especially when old interviews and footage hinted otherwise.
Jay-Z, you see him with Aaliyah Young, of course, goes to Dame Dash next. You see him with Foxy Brown. You see the maturation of Beyonce and him getting with Beyonce. You see Rihanna at a young age. Is it more so, and you were young as a singer, is it more so that, when you're in this industry, men are going to most likely talk and date their peers? And it's just that technically all the new rising stars at that time
are babies.
Were just young women, just young kids.
Babies. Being ran around by grown men. Babies. I got offered my first record deal when I was 13 years old. I got offered another one when I was 15. I'm so grateful that my father said no. I ended up not signing a record deal until I was in my early 20s. And as young as that is, looking back now, at least I was a legal adult. Most of these girls, They get moved around and touched around very early on. And, you know, and the people that have control of everything are untouchable. So how do you argue with that?
Is it of concern that before this list came out, that the people in this power they have their hands in keeping this list, you know, suppressed?
Yeah. Come on, man. I think we're speaking about this from a place where we're trying to make it seem like things are fair and people are just and people are decent. And rather than looking at it for what it is, the one thing that all of these files and all of these documents, and let's just be clear, we're talking about 3 million documents that have been released so far. When you release that amount of information, you're doing it to fatigue people. You know, it's going to take people quite some time to get through all of these files, and who knows how long they're going to be available. Stuff might start going missing, things of that nature. But we all should be going through and combing through every inch of everything that's going on, because when they put that much out there, they're hoping you're going to just overlook something. They're hoping you're going to get fatigued from all of the information, and you're not. We got to keep looking. Like, we have like 4 people around us that are every day combing through a bit. We combing through a bit. And you got to sit down and you got to take your time and look at it. What these files prove is that there are no rules, is that nothing has ever been fair. It's been being covered up. Like, that's the point.
She also addressed the public's tendency toward denial. According to her, it's easier to dismiss uncomfortable facts than confront them. She criticized media voices who downplay the Epstein documents by saying that a name appearing proves nothing, or that the files lack importance. Her response was simple. If it meant nothing, why was it kept hidden for so long? She pointed out how quickly everyday people can be judged over rumors, while influential figures often receive automatic defense. When the conversation turned to the Department of Justice, the question arose about why the files remained sealed for years. The Epstein Files Transparency Act only forced disclosure in mid-2025. Before that, both the Trump and Biden administrations had opportunities to release them but did not. Jaguar insisted her concern wasn't political, but about accountability.
Trump administration, don't forget the Biden administration had the ability to release these files as well, and they didn't either.
True.
So this isn't a political thing. Let's stop making it political. I think everyone wants to make it political. Oh, look at the politicians, and this isn't about the rappers, and this isn't about this, and this is about the politicians. No, it's not. No, it's not, because you got Democrats and Republicans equally aligned up in this whole foolishness. This is about a certain class of people in this country that have been doing all kinds of shit. And it really doesn't matter what your religious background is, what your social standing is, or what your political standing is. It really doesn't matter. This is not about them versus us. No, this is about the weirdos and then the normal people. And not even normal people, just decent people. The problem is that the weirdos are outnumbering, it's looking like, the decent people, 10-1. Like, does anybody get that? Like, the simple fact that nobody is holding TMZ into account for anything, and they've been mentioned in these files. Harvey Levin specifically.
She believes the extended silence reveals more than public statements ever could. Elon Musk's name also entered discussions after the release. Musk previously claimed he declined invitations to Epstein's island. Yet emails from 2012 have raised new questions and complicated that narrative.
The Department of Justice releasing their final batch of files connected to the late convicted offender Jeffrey Epstein. New emails from 2012 and 2013 show billionaire Elon Musk and Epstein coordinating a possible visit to the financier's infamous island. Musk asks when the wildest party will be. In another exchange, Epstein telling Musk there is always space for you and says he will send a heli for him. It's not clear if Musk ever visited the island. Musk's name has popped up in prior releases, including from the House Oversight Committee's release from the Epstein estate. He did not respond to NBC News' request for comment, but previously called Epstein a cretin and said he never advised him. Musk told Vanity Fair that Epstein tried repeatedly to get him to his island, but he declined. Emails also show Trump Cabinet Secretary Howard Lutnick coordinating a visit in the Caribbean in 2012. It's not clear if the meetings happened. Lutnick claimed to have cut ties with Epstein in 2005.
My wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
But the emails show drink and lunch meetings being arranged between the two well into 2012. A Commerce Secretary spokesperson said in a statement, quote, Secretary Lutnick has had limited interactions with Mr. Epstein in the presence of his wife and has never been accused of wrongdoing. The drop also includes a spreadsheet summary of complaints made to the FBI's National Threat Operations Center. It contained allegations against former President Donald Trump and former President Bill Clinton. There's no indication the FBI turned up evidence supporting the tips. And a note on the file read some of these individuals are reporting secondhand information and determined some of the tips were not credible. The DOJ later temporarily pulled the file without explanation. Both former presidents have denied any wrongdoing.
Woody Allen's name appears repeatedly throughout the documents. Epstein reportedly attempted to arrange dinners that included Allen and other well-known individuals. He also facilitated introductions connected to Allen's film projects. At one point, a prominent lawyer reached out to Epstein about helping his son secure work on an Allen production, and Epstein replied that he would look into it. Katt Williams added another layer to the discussion, pointing out how some public figures project clean images while somehow avoiding legal trouble despite questionable rumors. He compared it to a chessboard, where every piece plays a role, and not everyone sees who is truly moving the pieces.
None of that should be shocking.
When asked whether power changes people, Katt answered firmly. He suggested that once individuals cross lines they once vowed never to cross, something shifts inside them permanently. According to him, no amount of public image repair can fully restore who they used to be. He emphasized that pressure and temptation exist in every industry, not just entertainment. Sometimes people justify silence as survival. Katt admitted he was surprised by how much influence certain figures hold behind closed doors, describing situations where some seemed unaccustomed to hearing the word no. As talk turned to government agencies and long-standing rumors, he suggested that organizations like the FBI and CIA may spend years observing and documenting before acting. His final remark lingered. The only reason decades-old files can surface is because someone was watching all along. Now, with the documents public, many celebrities who once seemed untouchable appear quieter and more cautious. Hollywood feels uneasy, and the spotlight suddenly looks a lot brighter. If this opened your eyes even a little, don't stay quiet. Let us know what you really think in the comments, because your opinion matters more than ever. And if you want more deep dives like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from Taylor Tells All, where we keep asking the questions others avoid.